Greetings, Earthlings. Did you know Earth is the only planet not named after a god? Maybe that's why it's acting like a rebellious teenager. Ah, Earth, our lovely blue marble, currently going through what seems to be a rather turbulent phase. Let's take a look, shall we? First off, we have the global rave parties, also known as civil unrest. You see, Earthlings have this delightful habit of expressing their displeasure by taking to the streets, chanting catchy slogans, and waving colourful banners. It's like a festival, only with more tear gas and less glitter. Then comes our favourite circus, politics. It's a riveting spectacle where the clowns are in charge and the audience is left scratching their heads. Politicians, bless their hearts, have a knack for making claims that would make even a unicorn blush. Just the other day, one of them suggested that global warming could be solved by everyone simply turning their air conditioners down. The logic is as solid as a chocolate teapot. And let's not forget the weather, the diva of unpredictability. One day you're sunbathing in the park, the next you're building an ark. Hurricanes, wildfires, snowstorms. Oh my, it's like Earth decided to play bingo with natural disasters and is going for a full house. In between all of this, we have the usual dose of absurdity. Cats stuck in trees, people arguing over the correct way to hang toilet paper, and the never-ending debate about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. It's a whirlwind of madness, and we are all strapped in for the ride. But amidst the chaos, there's also a peculiar beauty. It's like watching a soap opera. You can't help but be drawn in by the drama, the passion, and the occasional plot twist. And let's be honest, it's never boring. So my dear Earthlings, as you can see, our dear planet is going through its moody phase. It's like living with a teenager who just discovered emo music. But fret not, for every storm passes, every phase ends. And even the most rebellious teenager eventually grows up. Until then, let's enjoy the ride. So, how about a change of scenery? A place where politicians don't make you facepalm every day, and the weather isn't having a midlife crisis. We've all had that moment, haven't we? The one where you're scrolling through the news, and you see the latest absurdity, and you just think, that's it, I'm moving to Mars. But let's be honest, it's not such a far-fetched idea. I mean, we've already sent a car there. How much harder could it be to send a few people? Picture this, you're sitting on your Martian porch, sipping on a cup of hot chocolate, watching the sun rise over Olympus Mons. No sound of angry protests, no sight of politicians making ignorant claims, no wild weather, just tranquility. And maybe a few alien neighbours, but hey, they've probably got better manners than some of the folks back on Earth. And think about the weather. No more hurricanes, no more earthquakes, no more wildfires. Just a nice, steady -80 degrees Fahrenheit. Sure, it's a bit chilly, but at least it's consistent. And who knows, maybe ice skating will become the new national pastime. But of course, we can't neglect the elephant in the room, or rather, the lack of elephants, and trees, and oxygen. But let's not get bogged down in the details. After all, who needs oxygen when you've got, scenic views? And let's not forget the best part. No more internet, no more social media, no more being bombarded with the latest celebrity gossip or political scandal, just peace and quiet, and maybe a little boredom, but that's what books are for, right? So yes, moving to Mars might seem a little extreme, but when you really think about it, is it any crazier than what's going on back on Earth? Yes, we might not have Wi-Fi or Netflix, but at least we won't have to deal with Earth's teenage angst. Now, let's weigh our options. Mars, Venus, Saturn, or maybe even Pluto if you're feeling adventurous. First up, Mars, the red planet. Quite the fashion statement, don't you think? Mars is known for its dust storms, which, let's be honest, are just spectacular sand art exhibitions. Who needs umbrellas when you can have protective Martian goggles? On the downside, there's no Wi-Fi. But look at the positive side. No more annoying notifications or constant buzzing from your phone. A true digital detox, courtesy of Mars. Next, we have Venus. It's like the sauna you never asked for. With temperatures hot enough to melt lead, it's the perfect place to lose that extra weight you've been complaining about. And you can forget about the sunscreen, darling. It's so cloudy there, you'll barely see the sun. The only catch? The clouds are made of sulfuric acid. But hey, at least the rain would have a nice eggy smell. Saturn. The planet of rings. Who needs a diamond ring when you can have an entire planet of them? It's like a cosmic jewelry store. The downside? It's a gas giant, so you'll probably fall through the planet before you can say I do. But think about it, a free fall that lasts forever. That's one heck of a roller coaster ride. And finally, there's Pluto. Yes, I know it's not technically a planet anymore, but let's not get into the details. It's the underdog of our solar system. It's cold, it's small, and it's far away. But isn't that what we all want sometimes? To be far away from everything? Plus, no one will laugh at your winter fashion choices. Well, it seems like each planet comes with its own set of challenges, but at least none of them have politicians. All right, so we've chosen our new home. Now, how to get there? A giant catapult, perhaps? Yes, indeed. We could put all of our faith in a humongous catapult, hurl ourselves into the great unknown, and hope that gravity is in a good mood. Or we could take the more reasonable route, hitch a ride on a comet. Just imagine clinging onto a chunk of ice and cosmic dust as it hurtles through space. Talk about a thrilling commute to work. Now, as tempting as interstellar hitchhiking sounds, we might need a more reliable form of transportation. Enter Space Airlines, the only airline where the flight attendants can truthfully say, in case of emergency, the exits are, well, non-existent. And let's not forget the packing. It's going to be a bit of a challenge considering you're moving to an entirely different planet. You'll need to pack all the essentials: oxygen, food, water, your collection of novelty socks. You know, just the basics. Oh, and you might want to leave your pets behind unless you fancy the idea of your goldfish floating around the cabin. And while we're on the subject, might we suggest you leave your mother-in-law behind too? There's limited space, and let's face it, you don't want to be stuck in a spaceship with her for the rest of your life. Now, there's also the small matter of how to survive once we've landed. But don't worry, we've got you covered. We're sending a team of unpaid interns ahead of the main group to set up our new colony. Their mission? To build us a Starbucks, because what's the point of moving to a new planet if you can't get a venti caramel macchiato? So there you have it, folks. The great migration to our new planet. It's going to be one hell of a ride. Just remember to buckle up, keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. And whatever you do, don't press the red button. Remember, folks, pack light. There's no room for your mother-in-law on this trip. Welcome to your new home, free from earthly chaos. Just be careful not to step on any alien toes. If you thought moving to a new neighborhood was tough, try being the new kid on the Interstellar block. You see, space is a different kettle of fish, or should I say, a different barrel of space krill. First off, there's the weather. It's a constant balmy minus 270 degrees Celsius. Don't fret, darling. You won't need your woolly jumpers or your wellies here. Instead, you'll be rocking a fashionable spacesuit, the height of extraterrestrial haute couture. Food is a whole other adventure. Forget about your mother's Sunday roast or your favourite pizza joint. The diet here is a smorgasbord of vacuum-sealed, dehydrated, rehydratable space food. And don't worry about your 5 a day. We've got Martian apples and Venusian grapes. They may not taste exactly like their earthly counterparts, but they sure do glow in the dark. As for the social scene, it's out of this world, literally. The intergalactic neighbours are a hoot. There's Zorg from the Andromeda Galaxy, who throws the best zero-gravity parties, and Glip-Glop from the Orion Nebula, the best 3-armed backgammon player this side of the Milky Way. And let's not forget the best part, there are 0 politicians. That's right, not a single one. Here, decisions are made by a super-intelligent, incorruptible AI named Gladys. She's stern, but fair, and she doesn't know the meaning of a filibuster. So there you have it. Life in space might seem a tad odd at first, but it's a small price to pay for peace, quiet, and a sky full of stars every single night. So here we are, starting anew in a place where the weather doesn't have mood swings, and politicians are just a distant, unpleasant memory. Remember, when Earth gets too much, there's always space.